Hi everybody. I'm doing this video before I was going to do a review. Well, my wig won't be here till tomorrow. It's going to be kind of cold to do it outside. I may run outside in a coat really fast and click a few pictures and come back and do the rest inside. But I had so many comments on the last few videos about women being new to wigs, or they need a wig, or they think they need a wig, or they want a wig, and they're scared. They're scared first that somebody's going to think it's a wig, that they're going to hate the wig, it's going to be too much hair. And I thought I need to address a new video for beginners, because I've done several about wig confidence and how to put a wig on the first time and assess a wig. But I thought, I'll just go ahead right now. A lot of people don't go back through the old videos. But I want to talk about this thing where you think everybody's going to know you're wearing a wig. Most people just want to look attractive. They don't necessarily want to be a wig ambassador or tell everybody on the planet that they're wearing a wig. They want it to look natural, and they want it to look like them. And they're afraid people are going to notice it's a wig. And I want to tell you one universal truth that I found out since wearing wigs. People are not all that observant. They're not looking at your hairline. They're just not. So first, let's get that out of the way. People don't really notice a lot of detail like that in general. They're too busy with their own lives, and they're saying hello and passing, and they're not really looking at you, okay? So, I know you're still going to worry about it. I know you are, because I did. I didn't want to look like I was wearing a wig. I wanted to look like I either colored my hair or cut my hair, and it was my hair. Anyway, there are several things to do to boost your confidence. There are several preliminary steps before even buying a wig. First, measure your head. You measure the circumference. You start here. You go all the way around at the occipital bone, which is right around your hairline in the back, and all the way around under your ears, and all the way around to the front, and see what your circumference is. But that's not the only measurement that counts. I would measure from your hairline all the way to the nape of your neck, and from right behind your ear, right under your ear, across the top of your head to your other ear. Those two measurements make a difference. They tell you a little more about the shape of your head. The shape of your head does matter. You could have a 22-inch circumference like I do, but if my measurements are each 12 inches, both of those measurements are 12 inches, that is considered a child size. That is why I can wear average caps and even petite caps, because my head size back here is fairly small. So do your measurements. Most wigs are average. They're considered average. Some people don't even make petite and large wigs. I've worn a Gabor large. I got it really cheap on eBay. It was so huge. It was bigger than the Paula Hansen wig that I had. Paula Young Hansen wig that I had. It was bigger than that. Huge. And average caps, it can vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. And you can't make a blanket statement about, all Beltress wigs run large. That is not true. Because the Beltress Alexandria I had last year, both of them, I had two of them. I decided that was a little bit too formal for me, too much hair for me with my lifestyle. I hardly ever see anybody. It's a beautiful wig. I loved it. I thought it looked good in it. But that wig fit petite. It's a Beltress, and it fit petite. It said average, but I had the adjusters pulled all the way out, and it fit like a glove. It was a perfect fit without pulling the adjusters in at all. I had them all the way as far out as they would go. As contrasted with the Paula Young wig, Hansen, which was also considered an average cap, and I had the adjusters all the way in as far as they would go, buckling the sides. But in general, almost all wigs are considered average size. Average varies a little bit. There's some variation. I had, for instance, 5 Trestle or Chloe wigs. I think I've said this before. I had 5 different ones. 3 fit beautifully. 2 were snug. That same style, the same manufacturer. So just measure your head. 22 is dead on average. 21 and a half to 22 is considered average. After you get past 22, you might get into a little bit more snug. For instance, like Noriko wigs. Noriko wigs were always tight. Noriko wigs are generally known for being fairly snug for average size designations. But you know, that's going to take some trial and error. But know that most all wigs are considered average caps. Get your measurements. Make sure you have your measurements before you get started. And if you have been losing hair, and that's why you're getting a wig and your hair is very thin, people may disagree with me and maybe you can do something different later, but 2 things I would make sure of in the wig that I get. First of all, it's low to no permatease. Permatease are all the little hair. Now, this one doesn't have hardly any. This is Beltress Caliente, shortened by me by 3 inches. Okay, this is a shortened version. This is not the original form. I've worn this wig a lot. So get a wig that is low to no permatease, and usually you'll have to look at reviews because they will not usually tell you that on a manufacturer website or a retailer website. You're going to have to get that information from reviews on YouTube from me and other wig reviewers. Second thing I would do if I was getting my first wig, make sure it's a fairly low density. It's not a heavy density, okay? I mean, most of the Beltress wigs are low to medium density. There are some va-va-boom Beltress wigs. Just using Beltress as an example. I'm mad at Beltress at the moment, but there are some Beltress wigs that have more hair than us, especially the really long ones. They're famous for their long, 23-inch and down to your rear end wigs, which I can't stand. I mean, they're heat friendly. Friction on your clothes is going to rub that and it's going to make them wear out sooner. Even though the fibers from that company are better than fibers from Raquel Welch, in my opinion. They last longer. Anyway, so the 2 things for a brand new wig wearer looking for a wig, try to see if it's low permatease or no permatease. And permatease can feel like insulation on your head. Some of it is what they call pillowy permatease. Think Brillo pad. And think of it all around your head here, maybe around the monopart, if it has a monopart or monotop, around there, at the nape of your neck, which is very irritating to me, as well as right here. Gabor and Raquel Welch wigs generally have a good bit of permatease. The newer styles may have cut back on the permatease. I hope so. There are companies who've proven that you don't need all that permatease to get lift on a style. I mean, this has a left monofilament part and lace front. And this has plenty of lift, but it's due to the waves and how they lay against each other and lift each other up. It's almost a straight wig. Now I've restyled this also. I've added some curl. After I cut it shorter, I had to add curl and tweak the curl a little bit. So it's a little bit different than it was originally. One of my favorite wigs of all time. So easy to wear. But anyway, so you got the low to no permatease, you got the low to maybe medium density, but I can tell you at the beginning, even medium density is going to feel like it's a lot of hair. It's going to look like you're going to think it's wiggy. Here's the next thing. When you order a wig, now whether you order a basic cap wig which has no lace front or no monofilament part or top, or you order the one with all the bells and whistles, hang on, sorry, interruptions. It's cold out here, but it's not as cold as it's going to be tonight. Tonight we're going into single digits. And we have 3 or 4 days of single digits this week, which is highly unusual for even at 2,000 feet elevation in the mountains, that rarely happens. So, got to batten down the hatches, but for now, I can stand outside. But no matter what wig that you decide to go for your first wig, please do this. When it comes in the mail, don't plop it on your head with no makeup and go to the bathroom mirror. You will hate the wig. Almost always, a new wig wearer is going to go, oh my God, this looks horrible. This looks like a costume. It looks like a costume wig or something. Wigs out of the box first never look exactly right. Almost never. There are very few wigs that when you take it out of the box, you shake it a little bit, put it on your head, put a little finger styling, get it out of your face, and it's perfect. Some of them take a little bit more separating the fibers. So first thing you want to do is when you get the wig is when you know it's coming, put you on some makeup. Put some face paint on. Please put some face paint on. It doesn't have to be a lot. Mascara, some blush, some lip color, a little powder to even out your skin tone, something to spice yourself up just a little bit. Trust me, okay? Trust me, I wouldn't lead you wrong on this. So if you know it's coming, you put on your makeup. When it comes in the mail, open it up, look it over. Now you're going to not have as much experience with whether something's defective or if there's a problem with it. Look it over, see if it looks like there's a problem with it. If you don't think there is, and you think you might keep it, take it and shake it out. Now, if you shake it out, you're not going to be able to keep it. Okay? Don't do that until you know that you're going to probably keep it, or if you decided you're going to keep it one way or another. Take it upside down by the nape and shake it a little bit. Maybe rake your fingers. Don't touch it with a brush. Whatever you do, especially if it's wavy or heat friendly, don't touch it with a brush. Just kind of rake your fingers through to separate the fibers and get them off of the cap, because they come all compacted in a net usually, and they need a little waking up. Do that. Then when you put it on your head, make sure if you've got the front, make sure whether it's a lace front or it's a basic cap with just a felt strip with a hair on it, make sure that's the right place on your hairline. Put your fingers like that between your eyebrow and your hairline. Should be 4 fingers. Like someone said, you don't want a 5 head, you want a 4 head. So make sure it's like that. Even if maybe you've got a forehead that's higher than mine, but generally things look pretty good if you got 4 fingers. Now, if you have a narrow forehead, sometimes that doesn't work. You might have to do 3 fingers if you have a very low hairline. But you want to put your hairline on your wig about the same place your normal hairline is when you had hair, okay? Maybe not where it is if you've lost a lot of hair up here. Make sure you know where the hairline is. And this helps. This is just a way to sort of judge where you should put the wig. And you take it by the nape, you put it over your head, and then you make sure you adjust this to the right spot. And then you just, if you got lace front, just kind of press it down. Make sure the ear tabs are not bent outward, that they're bent inward or straight, and press that against your face, okay? Now, here comes the part people don't want to ever do. I do it all the time because, of course, I make videos. Get your phone or whatever you make us, and do a selfie, okay? Don't really judge yourself yet. Do a selfie, okay? And then, or take a video clip. Sometimes a video is better because you can see how the hair moves. You can mess with it a little bit. Video clip or a selfie. Or a couple of selfies, turn different ways, look, do a few. Then look at the media. Don't look at yourself in the bathroom mirror yet, please don't. You're gonna hate your wig. Not all the time, but you might, okay? So look at yourself, and that picture or that video clip is how other people are going to see you, okay? That's your representation of how they're gonna see you. Now, later on, of course, you can look at a bathroom mirror all you want, because you're going to have, it's not the best representation of the wig. You can make adjustments for that in your mind, but you've got to give the wig a chance. These things are expensive. Give it a chance, okay? If you don't like it, if you need to train it, you can probably train it away from your face. If it depends on what kind of wig you get. And what you like. I mean, you might like your hair swept down over your forehead. You may like bangs, wigs with bangs. But after you do all that, and you think, that doesn't look bad. It's just weird around the house. Okay? Weird around the house. From time to time, glance at yourself in the mirror. Take another selfie. Get comfortable in it. But remember, when you look in the bathroom mirror with no makeup on, and the bathroom lighting is terrible generally, what you're seeing is not an accurate representation of what others are going to see when you wear that wig when you go out in public. It's just not. You need to give the wig a chance, because having to return wig after wig after wig, especially if people have restocking fees, which I think are crazy, that gets very expensive. I mean, seriously though, the restocking fees bug me. Most wigs are very expensive. Say you buy a wig and it's like $300 to $400 MSRP, okay? No matter what kind of discount you get, but most wigs are pretty expensive now. Regular synthetic, I'm talking about, not human hair. I don't wear human hair, and I have a very personal, particular reason for not wearing human hair. But these wigs are very expensive. Returning and returning and returning gets not only frustrating, but it gets very expensive and wastes a lot of money. And, like I read something that somebody, I guess Rachel, my friend Rachel, the indecisive wig wearer, sent me a post for a reply from her Starly wig that she had that was defective. And they were claiming it wasn't defective. Here we go again, right? And that was the retailer. This person said, well, if you buy a $400 dress and it doesn't fit you, or it doesn't look right on you and you want to return it, they don't tell you, hey, hem it, dye it, make it your own. And they don't charge restocking fees either. And you're talking about $400 wigs too. Why are they different than buying an expensive dress? What is the difference? Defective is defective. Or if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But just be sure when you get a wig and you're trying to assess it, you don't do too much to it, and make sure you don't have any perfumes on and everything to get on the wig. Please don't smoke around the wig before you, because if it has cigarette smoke and you take it back, they're going to throw it back to you. They're going to say, not accepting this return. So all that comes with assessing a wig, whether you like it or not. Now, another tip for new wig wearers is, if you're brand new and you're kind of scared, get a wig that is not too far off from the style you usually have been used to wearing, people are used to seeing you in, and not too far off from the color either. If you're a blonde, don't go get a red wig. If you're a brunette, don't get a platinum blonde wig. Now, of course, you can probably, people are going to look right at your wig, you're right at your hair then, they're going to go, wow, what'd you do to your hair? And you don't want to have to go into that. So to get comfortable with wig wearing, it's usually best to get wigs that are similar in styles or length or color that you're used to having on your own natural hair. This is why it's so difficult for me. It was so difficult for me in the beginning to deal with rooted wigs, and it's still difficult for me. Now, this is Tres Leches blonde. This always looked darker than it actually is. This root does. It is not that dark. It is still a root though. And it was very difficult because I was never one to dye my hair. My hair, if you saw the community section, I put my picture up there, and I may put it back up here again. A picture of me when I was 33 years old. And that is my hair. That's my natural hair color, and how long it was at that age. And you can see that as a natural blonde, it's very difficult for me to deal with rooted wigs. All the roots are darker than my own hair, is darker than it is now, and that doesn't even count grays. I have a few grays up top, but not as many as most women my age. And I never dyed my hair, so I never had root regrowth. And of course, in my generation, and I've said this before, in my generation, women would not dare go out in public with root regrowth. They dyed that back immediately. They touched it up immediately. They didn't let it grow out like this. So always having root regrowth. It's like the guys who walk around with a beard, the little scruff, and it's always at the same level, and they never make it, it never goes into a beard. It's always like they're just past the point they should have shaved, and they think that's sexy. But it doesn't stay like that naturally. Anyway, I don't know if it makes any sense, that comparison, but that's what I always think about. Oh, I hear the ice starting to fall. So I'm going to have to get it in a minute. But those tips right there are going to help you. Later on, Maybe you can branch out. Maybe you're used to straight hair and you want to try some wavy hair. I would say get a subtle wave. It looks like you just took a curling iron to your own hair just a little bit. Just got a little wave in it. I mean, to go from straight to massively curly like Shirley Temple wigs, you know, is going to be a jolting image for you and for other people. So that's my suggestions. Now, if you don't care and you're fine and you don't care if people know you wear wigs right off the bat, you've got that kind of confidence, God bless you. If you got that kind of confidence, do whatever you want. Get whatever style, whatever color you want. That's great. Most of us, well, we go through a few styles and colors and brands until we kind of narrow it down to what we really, really know we like and what suits us best and what works for us and what's comfortable for us. It's going to take a while. You're going to have some missteps. Oh, I had thousands of dollars worth of missteps. Most of us do in the beginning. And then there's the addiction. Some people get a little bit addicted to the thrill of buying new wigs and trying on new hair. That can get really expensive. But you're going to have to buy a few. Well, as they say, you're going to have to kiss a few frogs before you find a prince or a princess. Yeah, so I hope all this is helpful for you. But I have so many people saying, I'm scared to wear a wig, or I don't know which way to turn, and what do I do? And, you know, it's hard for me to make specific suggestions for certain wigs because I don't know most of you to that point about your likes and dislikes. And I don't know, you know, it's like buying a home. I was a realtor. And I always knew that people could give me a list of things they wanted in their home, their new home. And I could find something with all those, ticked all those boxes. But when they walked in, it didn't feel like home. And it's the same with wigs. It may tick all the boxes for you, but you put it on and go, something about this wig is just not right. It's just not, it doesn't work for me. I don't feel comfortable in it. So it's an emotional attachment. It's an emotional reaction to you in a wig. Not just, oh, it's wavy and it has a lace front and it's blah, 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 blah. You know, it's not like that. Sometimes that's great, but I've ticked a lot of boxes off and got a wig and still it just didn't seem right for me. There's also the variances. There are wig variances. So same color on two wigs won't look exactly the same with the placement of highlights and such. The same cap, like I mentioned with the Tressler Chloe, which is now discontinued and now called Charlie, and I think that's discontinued too. 5 of them. 3 fit beautifully, 2 are tight. Same wig, same style, same brand. But the variances, you know, just know that there are going to be some variances. They shouldn't be drastic, like on the Ellen Villa metallic blonde rooted. Whoa, talk about drastic differences. To me, that's inexcusable. That makes it impossible to choose a color. Impossible. And it means more returns for the company. And if they're starting to all get together and decide they don't want to admit there are any defects or that none of their products are not quite up to snuff, you know, they're going to give you a hard time about returning. So anyway, best of luck, everybody. Ask your questions if you like to. I can't give you a perfect formula saying this, if you do this, 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 and this, you're going to love this wig. Because in the end, it's not just a bunch of boxes ticked off. It's an emotional response. But just know, no bathroom mirror. Take you a selfie, take you a video clip. With makeup on and the wig on, place it at the right location and adjust it to your head size as much as you can. And just look at the pictures and think about it for a while. And, you know, if you want input from a friend, your husband or boyfriend or whatever, get it. Because they'll tell you how. Now, some men of my husband's generation don't understand the newer styles and textures. So it's like, it's kind of scraggly, more scraggly than what you wear, or boy, that's a wild wig or something. So you have to make allowances for that. But somebody you trust, somebody's opinion you trust. I have a lovely friend I bounce my decisions off of usually. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Stay warm. This is going to be a polar vortex week for most of us, I think. Just no snow, no snow, no snow. I've had enough snow. I've lived in Ohio and Utah twice, and Colorado. I don't want no more snow. Anyway, good luck everybody. Happy wig hunting.